Thanks for joining us.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, I thought we were in Pacific time.
Oh, I have
That's all
no
right.
idea where we are.
I'm to
Yeah,
be really
so-
honest with you, I don't even know what time zone I'm in. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a thing, and it's raining in Tennessee, and I'm working at the library, and I was outside, and it just like monsooned on me.
Oh,
It's like,
no.
Oh,
do that. It was such a beautiful day, and then it's not.
And then it's not. Classic.
well,
awesome.
thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Let's get right into it. How long have you been using Chime?
About a year. I signed up when I swapped over from Remax to EXP. I was looking for a more grown-up system than some of the little country agents were using out here.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did
Grown-up
Randy-
system.
Oh, go ahead, Brett.
I was gonna ask how your first year with Chime has been.
It's amazing. It's like it's been a great learning experience for me. My parents and my grandparents have been in the rural real estate business for my entire life. So I feel like I'm learning a new way about communicating and using technology and like creating like a bigger market than just selling a few farms and going to a few cow sales.
Oh, that sounds about right. You know, we were just saying rich people use the internet. Rural people use the internet too.
Absolutely.
That's Randy's other shirt that he's making.
That's the
Yeah.
back of the shirt. The front of the shirt is rich people use the internet. The back is rural people who use the
No,
internet.
rednecks have cell phones.
Rednecks.
Ooh, I like that one.
I
I'm writing
like-
that down.
Yeah, rednecks
Adam,
have cell phones.
Do not buy that, Adam.
He's gonna buy all of these URLs.
Right.
It's already done. You like caught him red-handed.
Oh, look, she's like, all right, Jennifer. So tell me, now that you're using Chime, what are you using in regards to incoming leads? Are you using the online aspect of PPC, Facebook lead ads, or are you just using it as a CRM for your signed calls, past clients, your sphere? How are you using it?
Well, I've actually just been testing it out for a little while. It's like I've tried each for a couple of months, just trying to get my hands on what works, especially when I'm thinking about like how, I guess diverse, because I feel like I'm working in two markets, because mostly I work in rural Tennessee, like outside of the metropolitan areas. And most of the folks that are moving here from other states. The overwhelming majority of my clients are from outside of the state, and my buyers and my sellers are obviously more local. So it's been trying to figure out a combination of how do you market or how do you capture both sets of leads, because the literature that I read when I first began was talking about not necessarily chasing seller leads, but chasing buyer leads, except my buyers generally are not my sellers. So like how you run your Facebook ads or what kind of content goes, you know, like how do you separate that? And then how do you put those into smart plans that's useful? And the thing that I've been doing in the last couple of weeks is I've hired a writer and a photographer, and you all have talked a lot about organic content. So I'm focusing less on real estate and more on the community aspects of the different places. It gives me an opportunity to connect with other small local business owners and people that are like in rural areas and provide some content that's useful on the buyer end.
That's
Very
phenomenal.
smart.
Good for you. You're certainly going to start to separate yourself from the rest of your competition by investing in that. And furthermore, you're going to get significantly more website traffic from those out-of-state buyers, right? So
Absolutely.
having a Chime site where it ranks well in SEO, you're adding that type of content, so you're getting some more, some higher ranking, some more search words are pointing back your direction. You're positioning yourself well for those out-of-state clientele.
And even, you know, like Tennessee's divided into like three grand divisions, blah, blah, blah. Folks that live in rural communities, it's like they're being priced out of where they live. So like my sellers are moving farther out of the communities. And it's like, oftentimes, this is very cliche, but oftentimes they don't have a real good grasp on what's happening in the next county over. So as they're selling and making bank, selling their, their current residence, and then they move one county farther out into the country, it's a whole new education for them as well. So it's like, it's taken me a long time to sort of figure out, like I've watched lots of YouTube videos and watched lots of other people posture, and it's like, I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, but I'm never going to be the 7 amazing places in Tennessee. Like, come here. It's like, it just makes me want to like scream.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, I know this is about your first year in Chime, but I'm interested in what was the catalyst for you to decide to invest in developing more content and, going out and hiring a writer? What was kind of the point where you're like, okay, this is the right thing to do?
Well, I mean, after I've tested Facebook ads and you test Google ads and you do all these test things and you realize what other folks are doing, like a problem is an opportunity for a solution. And when you see that 90% of everybody's running the same kinds of Facebook ads, or they're running the same kinds of Google ads, and for my budget, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to spend enough money to compete in that market, because it's just overwhelming. So it's creating an opportunity that's different, like totally like setting yourself aside. And it's like, what is of value? Like that, I think that's like the $10,000 question is, what is that value? Is it just another ad, or is it providing something that somebody on their own would be looking for and wanting to consume?
Right.
I love that. So, circling kind of back to the topic of your first year at Chime, talk to us a little bit about that experience of, when did you feel like you really grasped Chime? What was it that you realized, like, hey, this is the most valuable part of the product? Or what have you learned throughout the first year using the system?
I can tell you, it's like when I chose to purchase Chime, the reason I did it is like, I didn't want to buy a stroller. I wanted to buy a jet plane.
I love it.
And like you can like, and it takes a while, and it's like the risk involved in learning how to fly a jet is quite significant, as opposed to trying to learn to ride a bicycle. So for me, it's been a huge learning curve, because there's so many tools and so many things. It's like, I'd never used such a robust CRM for anything. It's like all of my sales up until this point have been a lot about relationship building and making connections with people. And then when you put technology in there, like, how do you use technology to create relationships? And it's amazing to me sometimes. Just in the last week, one of my really good clients called me, and she was like, there's this person and her name is April, and she keeps texting me. And she was almost like ready to jump through the phone and kick her ass. She was like, she's trying to poach your clients. And I was like, no, that's my bot. It's okay.
That's awesome.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. But like, which for me was like a win, because it's like, you're not really sure how that interaction feels to your user. And it's like, when you're able to connect in such a way that you have a relationship that your user is protective, like, who is this person coming and getting on my turf? It's like, then, you've done something that's like different.
Mm-hmm. Most certainly.
Jennifer, do you have a team, or is it just you?
It's just me right now. It's just me. I have 2 VAs that are very new VAs. So I've had a lot of training them, and the jury's still out on how that's going, but.
Sure. I was going to ask how are they liking, how are you training them to use Chime, I should say? What are they doing for you in your business?
Well, I have one guy, his name is Michael, and his primary purpose has been up to this point is to monitor the incoming leads, and to make sure that they've been assigned appropriate smart plans and that they're being responded to, and then to send the flag up to me so that I can like additionally follow up. So like, there's an immediate, not 20 minutes. I want to know right now.
Sure.
And then also he's been really good about integrating slide broadcast and trying different video apps, and really like doing those tedious kind of technical things.
Sure.
that
Are
I don't
you
want to
using
sit and mess
Dub?
with.
Have you tried Dub?
I have
D-
not.
DUBB?
have
Yeah,
not.
we've got a direct integration with them, and I think they have a free trial or something. So, shoot, this is probably something I should have on hand.
Jeez,
But,
Randy.
I know, right?
Dropping the ball.
I know. What's new?
Jennifer, do you do anything with Facebook or like Facebook ads?
Yeah, we've done some Facebook ads, and just last night, I posted my first of a set of videos, because my little shtick is I'm from Tennessee, so we're telling the story of Tennesseans.
Good.
So last night we posted one of our first videos of the demolition derby, the local demolition
Awesome.
derby. And we just posted it on a YouTube and working on a YouTube channel. And the way I'm using Chime is like each one of the communities, like we built a landing page for each one of the communities that has like different kinds of, like local Facebook groups and things. So part of the way the ads are written, it's like, man, this thing won't shut up. Is in the text is like to have, like if you're interested in moving to Springfield, here are the houses for sale, and then directly sending them to that landing page.
Perfect.
By the way, for what it's worth, in the chat, I put a link where you can go get a 7-day trial with Dub.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you, Adam. So it does integrate right into Chime. I think you add the Chrome extension to use a Chrome browser, and this is just, another video option. It's a little has more functionality than some of the other video messaging providers. So since you're exploring video messaging, it's worth giving it a try.
Yeah, right now we're using the slide broadcast, like every time you get a new lead, and then after they've been to the lead for so many times, it's like we've got several set up in there. And honestly, it's like I'm really not sure how I feel about it. I don't get a lot of response from it, which
Sure.
and it's really hard to tell. You can't tell, like if they listen to it. It's like I don't listen to my voicemails anymore. It's like,
Oh, so
you're
talking about, yeah, the
voicemail dropping.
Voicemail drop versus video. Okay.
Or doing a combination
Jennifer,
of the two.
What's your voicemail? What's your initial voicemail say?
So it's like a general introduction. It's like, I saw you were joined from Facebook or wherever they came from. Just checking in to see if there's anything you need. It's like, you're obviously interested. It's like, just kind of chitty chatty. Like I would leave you a message.
Okay. So here I have done more with slide broadcast than I would like to admit in a public forum. But here I'll give you some of my best tips that I have for that. So first of all, I set the hours of when it goes out. So I'll put that in a smart plan, and I'll set the hours of when that goes out. And I set it for like 8:30 in the morning until about 5 p.m. I don't go anytime outside of those hours. So that's number one. Number two, when I do send when the slide broadcast goes out, my voicemail is basically, hey, saw that you registered on the website, just wanted to touch base, reach out, said there's a real person out here really looking out for your home search. I'm just about to walk into a meeting. If there is anything that I can do to help you out, give me a shout. If you need to call back, this is my phone number. You can call or text me. I'm here for you. One of my teammates might be reaching out to you shortly to have just a brief conversation about what you're looking for in a new home. Let me know if you have any questions. Talk soon. And what I've done there is I've teed up so when the bot does reach out to them, they know that someone from my team is going to be reaching out to them, so they can expect that. But I always do the in the meeting thing. That's why it's a quick like voicemail. That works really well. My response rate on that is very, very, very high. Very high. So
that's a good thing.
But yeah, that's what has always worked well for me. And I generally will send 2 voicemails total. That's all I send. Because I don't want them to always be like, damn, I'm always missing your phone call. Yeah, oh darn. But no, I only send 2 of those, and everything else is via text. So Randy's over there processing his next voicemail. That's dude, so what Randy does voicemail drops, but they're only to his wife to be. They don't. He instead of calling her, he just drops voicemails. But apparently.
This
So
is fake news. This is fake news.
Ariel's like, that's why I only get voicemails from him.
No,
Sorry.
I'm very bad at checking voicemails. I'll admit. I'm very much the text guy. So,
And that is actually my tip number 2. So when you send a voicemail drop, one of the cool parts about Chime is you can immediately after that, you can send another. So you can send a slide broadcast, and immediately after it will send another smart plan step, send a text. Hey, first name, just left you a voicemail, walking into a meeting. Let me know if there's anything you need with your home search. So that's trick number 2 is immediately send a text afterward. I just left you a voicemail, because now what's going to happen is they're going to see the voicemail come through and they'll be like, oh, voicemail drop. A lot of people are catching on to there's the thing is voicemail drop. Now, if you send a text immediately after, it kind of goes, oh, wait, did I really miss that call? It's a brain trigger. That's all it is.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's been the interesting thing with me is like making sure like when to set all these things up. It's like, I'll get this great idea. I'm like, like when they look at this house, I'd like, whether it's any house, it's like, what did you think of the bathroom? Like some general question. Most houses have a bathroom in them, like,
Yep.
oh, it was a really snazzy shower. I mean, like, I don't know, just some that it looks like, that it's really prompted. It's like, what'd you think of the handles in the kitchen? Or, like just very specific kinds of things, and like trying to up that response back. Because the Facebook ads that I ran some through you all, like through Chime, through you all, and then we did some ourselves. It's like, I didn't get a lot of response. I feel like they're just kind of like people screwing around on their phones, not really like paying attention.
It's because Facebook is what's known as an interruptive style ad.
right.
I'll give you an example of another, like when you're sitting there browsing at night and you come across an ad for a car. Most people are not going to be browsing Facebook and go, you know what I need right now? I need a new Mercedes. Like that doesn't happen. And so what they will see though is, I'll give you a great example. My virtual background. People will see a kitchen that looks something like this, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I would love a kitchen like that. And then they go through and they click through all the photos, and then it's register. Okay, well here's my fake number and my fake email address. And then they get to see all the pretty photos. What I like to do off of something like that is I try not to use total interruptive style ads. There's ways around that. Google PPC, in my opinion, works slightly better than a Facebook ad because someone's actually searching for it. But you're actually doing what I would tell people to do immediately, which is go write great content about your area and hit it from an angle that a local would know. And that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be a local. So that's really good. That's a really good idea. And I think you're going to see a huge return on that.
That's my little spiel. I say I'm the professional local, because before I was doing real estate, I was literally the tour guide.
That's so cool. Yeah. Your history, the amount of knowledge that you have in your area, sharing that is a great idea. And I think you're going to see a huge return because of it.
Yeah. So it's like, like getting all this information and getting it plugged into the CRM and like, just, like making sure. And I think it's a long term, like this is not a quick crop. This is a long-term kind of thing, and learning the ins and outs and being able to change and grow. And it's been so amazing. It's like being able to have such good support from Chime. It's like, I've never really sometimes you'll get stuck and I'm like, I don't really know what to do. And if somebody doesn't answer the phone immediately, usually within 10 or 15 minutes, somebody calls you back.
Yeah.
Which, that doesn't happen. And they usually have an answer, which is even more impressive.
Yeah, they're not calling you just to say, sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, you're screwed.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Well, it feels like there's more to be discussed here, but I know that we're running up on the end of our time today. Definitely would be interested in just picking your brain a little bit more, and I would really like to hear about the success you have creating that content on your website. So maybe we circle back in a few months after you've had some time to implement that and see some results. And if you'd be up for it, we'd love to have you back.
Sure, I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Well, thank you for being a member of the user forum and contributing. We appreciate that. Thank you for being a client, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Take care.
I'll take it easy.
See ya.